thing on. Well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. We are back with another video, another live. We are going to introduce you to our topic tonight. Our topic is about um, pros and cons uh, to protein drinks. So, Martin, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well on this little cold evening. How are you doing?
Doing okay. Still doing what I do to increase my positivity and getting in alignment. I'm thinking about doing a little bit of workout tonight, stretches. I did see your live tonight or today, and I said, I'm going to save that so that I can uh, get my stretches in, my mobility. So yes, let's see. How would you like to start out tonight? And let's see if anybody is coming on. As you know, people, you can always support me by sending stars to help me to earn money to make more content, better content. And that's the extent of it for now. So, Martin, as we had the live on Tuesday, we talked about pros and cons to protein drinks. We also spoke about, my favorite word, which was rejuvenate. So I'm rejuvenated and ready to go. So, do you want to start out and see who wants to, or do you want to talk about anything from last week and then go right into it?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll maybe just name off maybe the top 5 or 6 negatives of the protein. And it's not really protein drinks. It's just the powder, and it's just so we can kind of distinguish that a little bit. And so yeah, I'll knock down a couple, maybe 5, 6 of these out of the way of just negatives in terms of protein powders and kind of the idea. And then what I'll do is I'll just implement maybe my idea of what a protein drink would should look like or be like, and then we can take, obviously, if anyone else has their own their own opinion, their own preference, or if they're using any right now, we can certainly listen and go from there. So,
Okay,
uh,
and I do have some things to say. I think about the protein drinks, the difference. But as we go through this evening, we can go from there. But go ahead, I'll let you start, and I'll sit back and listen.
Okay, okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
No, yeah. So the biggest thing with these powders and such forth from there. And I'll actually pull up an article that I wanted to use just to kind of give you guys a little more reference in terms of just he say, she say. These are actually sources that you can actually pull from online and give you a little more anecdote of what's the scientific reasoning behind most of these things that we're claiming in terms of healthy choices and such forth from there. So this is actually a health study from the University of Harvard's Health Publishing, Harvard Medical School. So this was actually in August 15th of 2022. So this was about 18 months ago, and they just came out with an article, and the title was "The Hidden Dangers of Protein Powders." And literally, the biggest, the number one bullet point they have here is that a protein powder is considered a dietary supplement. So the FDA leaves it up to manufacturers to evaluate the safety and labeling of products. So there is no way to even know what is in the actual protein powder and what is actually claimed on the label to see what's actually on the in the bag as well, or in the ingredients as well. And I know we were speaking about it before as well, and that's one of the dangers. There's you're not really getting what you're paying for most of the time, and it's not really at a consistent level. As we said, sometimes things could be when you go in there and you pour one scoop, you're expecting to get about 10 grams of protein. And sometimes you might pull up a scoop and you might get 12 grams of protein. Sometimes you might get 4 grams of protein. So it's all dependent because of the potency in the ingredients is not as strong and as of, like I said, not the best thing for you for your body to absorb. And most of the time, they're just loaded with just toxic ingredients and additives that just don't do your body well and just actually hurt your body in terms of forcing you to have more cravings. You're really not getting the nutrients that you need. You're saying, "Oh, I just drank my protein drink and I'm hungry." 90 minutes later, 2 hours later, and you're not really getting that fulfillment in your stomach or that fulfillment in your body to say, you know what, okay, let me wait until my next meal. So the whole reason behind that is so that you can stay fuller longer and not crave do have cravings in between meals, and right away with you going to more of a protein base with those powders, and if it's not really that good or that high of a quality, then there are going to be negatives to that. And as you can see, pretty much anything that comes out in terms of it being a protein powder, it's not nothing that FDA can really handle and do unless there's major problems or they got to take it off the shelf and such forth from there. So the biggest thing is the ingredients of what's in the powder and making sure that it's aligning with what your body can handle and what your goals are for your fitness goals. From there, sometimes some people want to be able to routine, say, "Oh, I want to lose 10 pounds." Well, if you're looking to lose 5 or 10 pounds, maybe take going the route of protein powders isn't the best route. Like I said, maybe the first route is maybe substituting, changing some of your meals that you're already eating, and just go from there. If you make this journey or goal of yours hard, you're never gonna start. So you want to make it as comfortable, as easy as possible, as easily in your routine as you're already doing. If you're eating let's say for example, you're eating a chicken sandwich with fries. Well, how about you can eat the chicken, just take away the bread, have the chicken in a salad, and have the fries still. And then from there, you'll see little differences from there on. And if you think things are going well, then keep doing it. If not, then maybe try something else. But like I said, start small and go from there in terms of what you're trying to do in terms of getting it actually into the protein drinks. And if you are going to get into protein drinks, one thing I wouldn't recommend is focusing your whole day on protein drinks. If you're going to have a protein drink, you're only going to substitute maybe one meal for that whole day of a protein drink where you're actually getting a liquid form and powder. Other than that, you should still get majority of your nutrients and vitamins through food. This is not something where you want to, oh, I can easily cut off 1,000 calories by just drinking smoothies all day. There's times for juice cleansing, there are times for detoxing the whole body, but this is not something where you can do this for 2 years, 3 years. those moments when you're detoxifying your body or cleansing your body, those are 5 day cleanses, 7 day cleanses, something where you need to do a big change in your routine to get that start going, and then you can settle from there and add a meal here, add a meal there, but nothing too drastically crazy to begin with from there. So the second thing here is there's no real actual studies, long-term studies in terms of the benefits and negatives. Too much of the benefits. I mean, the negatives we always see because their problems just pop up, But the positives we really haven't seen over a good amount of, I'd say maybe from 2005 to 2010, maybe even 2015. We really haven't had a significant amount of studies, and obviously protein powders were in the market in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but I think they just took off when social media came around and everyone decided, hey, I've got to start looking good, or hey, I've got to try to start looking good. And it just became, a fade or something they've got to do. It's like, hey, if you want to start losing weight, you got to go to a gym. It's like, when did that all become a thing? And it just became a thing with social media, and people are posting them doing push-ups and squats and these crazy workouts, and then all of a sudden that became the thing. So like I said, there's no long-term studies in terms of kind of the what really happens. Obviously short term, we're just seeing with testimonials of what people are saying with most of the products on the in the market, and it's some of the biggest, and I'll get into those harms of the body as well. But just in general, kind of what the angle is, and why protein shakes are a negative. Um, I mean, here we have long term studies. The third for me was, are you adding something in your body that you really don't need? I think most of us, we're not trying to lose. I mean, there are people that are trying to lose 40, 50 pounds because they are that weight. But I think most of us, majority of us, 70, 80% of us, just want to get a little tone. We want to lose a little, belly weight, and that's 5 to 10 pounds. 5 to 10 pounds consistency. It's nothing where I've got to wake up at 5 in the morning now, and I've got to commit 2 hours of workouts. This is something where it's got to be a lifestyle, habits, your routine, and if you can squeeze in a workout for a half hour, 45 minutes, great. But I think the biggest thing is when people start telling themselves, oh, I got protein powder, I got protein drinks, I've got to take myself so serious. Relax, relax. Take things day by day and see if you can handle it. And if you can't handle it, then go to something else. Just because protein drinks aren't for you, or you're taking them and you're like, it's not doing anything for me, I'm still getting cravings, then go on to the next thing. Try something else. And Jewel and I will always recommend going the natural way. Getting your food,
Right.
getting your foods, getting your nutrients from the earth, whatever it is, meat, plant based, whatever, such from there. So, yeah, Jewel, those are my 3 points. I was going to break down a little more in terms of what the negatives are for the particular body of what powders can do to the body, but those 3 reasons I just wanted to start off with. Any thoughts from yourself as we go into it a little more?
Well, I actually like prefer smoothies over
Mm.
protein drinks. Hi, Angela. How are you? Um, I uh, I don't know what's going on here
I hear
tonight,
you.
but we're going down. We're going down. Um, sh- I prefer to sculpt my body. I do protein drinks. Um, I think most people are listening to what other people are saying, um, and they're doing protein drinks because, like you said, on Tuesday, because it's cool or what have you. But you've got to know the reason.
Mm.
Uh, and I don't know if you mentioned it because I'm getting an interference here. But what I was going was I don't know what's going on here tonight. I noticed I was watching a couple of other lives and they were going in and out, in and out. I was hoping that wouldn't be for us,
Mm,
but it
mm,
seems like it's doing it. But I wanted to say, Angela was saying, should the drinks be done in replace of breakfast?
mm.
Uh, um, well, I was going to say a few things, but I kind of cut Martin off. I didn't want to cut him off, but hold that thought, Martin. Let me
Yeah.
answer that question. I would personally say that if you're not doing it on a regular basis,
Mm,
you don't want to drink protein drinks every day.
mm,
Why? Because you're not getting the nutrients of other vitamins and minerals.
mm,
However, you are getting, what can I say? You're losing part of the nutrients if you're just doing protein drinks daily. So it should probably be like every 2 to 3 days, unless you're really going hard, working out, trying to, get your formation. It just depends. Because I know spring and summer is near and I am older, and yes, I like my arms to be tight. I like them to be formed. So that's something I would do. So what is she saying here? I know I had frozen. I noticed it on the lives watching other people today. They were frozen as well. Yeah. So yeah, you don't want to do protein drinks. And Martin, what else were you saying? Because I didn't want to cut you out.
Oh no, you didn't. I was just gonna respond back to the question about the having the protein drinks in the morning, and I think that's like the perfect look. You wake up in the morning, you make your drink, and it blends, and you have it, and you're like, oh man, I feel like $1,000,000. And I totally agree with you, Jewel. I think the biggest thing is if you want to get your food naturally and you want to get those nutrients that you need for your body, especially in the morning. I would
Yeah.
recommend your protein drinks or these type of drinks during a hectic hours. You know, between 10 a.m., 2 p.m., between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. That's where you can squeeze in these types of drinks. Just because it's easy to go, you can put in a cup and you put it in your car or take it with you, put it in your locker, put it in your desk, and keep it with you. And that's the reason why those are convenient instead of taking out to lunch or taking time to go get food and wasting more money there. So if you're gonna include these drinks, I would include them in a time where your heaviest hours, your heaviest time where you're doing errands, whether it's a nanny, taking care of kids, growing, grabbing errands, this and that for work, whatever it is. I think the time to best do it is when oh man, I'm not gonna have a chance to sit down and eat a meal for maybe 4 or 5 hours, 5, 6 hours. Maybe I can get my supplements this way, and then I can go back to my regular food or normal food and get my grains, my meat, whatever veggies, fruit from there. So yeah, I totally agree with Jewel. And the next point that she brought up, which was great, was the amount of days. You don't have to be killing yourself 5 days a week, 6 days a week with these types of things, but you want to also give it a try. So I totally agree with her. 2 to 3 days out of the week, give it a try. Replace one of those meals. See if you feel a difference in that day. See if you feel a difference then later in the week. But I'd say in the morning, you want to pack yourself with some good nutrients, carbs, protein, and healthy fats. And then as well in the evening time, just because that's when you're going to be going to sleep and naturally fasting. So you're not going to be eating while you sleep. So you need to make sure that you have some nutrients in your body as well during the night, but also in the morning as well to get you going for your day. So yeah, perfect answer from Jewel, and I totally agree with what she was saying. And nothing from me. That was just getting back to that question. Yeah.
Okay. And then she asked, what is good for older women?
Mm,
Well, that's something too, because I always say it's not a one solution for everyone. You want to make sure that you know what your body is lacking. Protein drinks is pretty much good for those that want to lose weight, but it's also good for those that have been saying discharged from a hospital, not able to eat. But you also have to be mindful that you've got to eat healthy. So that's the misconception that people are getting about uh, these protein drinks. So ensure, as we mature, um, they always subscribe or prescribe ensure when you're leaving the hospital so that you can get because you do get the nutrients and it is a protein drink, but you also want to be mindful, like Martin said, to eat healthy where you can get your nutrients and your vitamins and your minerals. Because, truth be told, with protein drinks, you get the milk. You mix it with the milk, you don't get all of the nutrients. You may get the protein that's going to help you bulk up, but you're not going to get all the protein. Am I right about that, Martin? I'm pretty sure that people are getting it mixed up, thinking a protein drink will give them more minerals and vitamins and everything that's in it, but it's not all in a protein powder.
Yeah, so there's two answers to that. So some people like to go and get like more powders in terms of like turmeric or garlic powders and add it in there. I say just go the natural way, and just add those foods the natural way. And the second thing is when people are trying to lose weight, they focus on so much of the protein. But as soon as you eat a little carbs, your body just sticks to it and your body just blows up because it doesn't know what to do with it and it doesn't know if it's going to get that bad. Carbs are your energy. So when you eliminate carbs from your body's freaking out and saying, "Where am I going to get my energy from?" So let's say you don't eat carbs for a week or a week and a half, and as soon as you put some carbs in your body, it's going to hold on to it, and you're like, "What the heck? Why do I feel a little bloated? Why do I feel a little, not as toned or not as thin?" It's because, or your cheat meal, if you're eliminating carbs the whole week and your cheat meal is then, oh, I'm going to eat my carbs now. It's not going to do anything with you. You're just going to get fat. You're just going to get mass, and you want to get,
Right.
yeah. Sorry.
No, I was agreeing with you. You're right about that because if you do too much of a protein drink, you end up gaining weight because you're drinking too much
Yeah.
of the protein powder. So that's why it's not good to use a protein powder every day and drink it every day as a supplement. That's
Mm,
not good. You end up gaining weight
mm,
if you consume too much of the protein powder. She says, I'm 60. Should I or is it okay to start the Ensure? Well, you know how I roll. I do a one on one. I look at your blood type to see if you are depleted in the area. You need to know what your blood levels are doing. You don't just want to say, oh, well, they said I should start drinking protein. No, ma'am, no ham. No, don't do that to yourself. Know what your blood level is telling you. Know what your why. What is the reason why you decide to consume or ingest protein drinks or even smoothies? If you're, say, for example, you're lacking vitamin, well, what kind of vitamins can you put in your smoothie? What
mm,
foods have high vitamins,
mm.
high, let's say, iron? So you already know,
Yeah.
raisins are high in iron. You can eat raisins. But if you have to put it in your smoothie, you want to eat all your green leafy vegetables, put it in your smoothie. So those are the things that I help you with. I never tell people, oh, yeah, go ahead and start something without knowing what your body is doing. Okay. Okay. Martin, what do you
Yeah,
say?
I totally agree with that. I think we've got to get away from us having an athlete's mindset, because when you're an athlete, you need protein, you need carbs, you need healthy fats. You can have your Doritos, the chips, because you're in the gym every day. You're training. You have games, whether it's basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball. Those games take a lot of energy from us. So when you're eating those things, it really doesn't make a difference in terms of how much or portions or protein powders. I think once we've got to understand how we have to live, not as athletes, but as adults and a healthy lifestyle as well. So when we get into the protein and this and that, I would right away what Joel was talking about. Let's go and look into what your body needs, because if you go into protein, most of these things with protein and smoothies, and if you're adding, added vitamin C, vitamin D, you just go to the bathroom and it just flows out right away. If you're just drinking too much and your body's not used to it, and you can't put it anywhere to go or to use, your body will just flush it out. So you have to be cautious with what vitamins your body needs and what nutrients you need and how you're going to go about it. Some people could be drinking smoothies and adding pineapples and oranges, but maybe that's not the fruit that you need for your body. Maybe you've got to add a little more veggies, add a little more iron, the natural way or whatever, to make sure that you're getting what you need for your body. And then from there, that's when everything starts aligning. People have to understand that you're not overweight or gain weight because you can't control what's in your body. I mean, some of people literally watch what they eat, they do this and that, they check, and they're still kind of heavier set. So
Hmm.
what we have to do is you just have to look at your lifestyle and say, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to
Yeah.
lose weight? Am I trying to just be healthier? Because if you're just trying to be healthier, losing weight isn't the route. If someone
Right.
wants to lose weight, they've got to start doing some cardio. They've got to start committing it. But if we're just trying to get healthier, you're going to lose 5, 10 pounds naturally within easily 6 weeks to 2 months. Without adding pressure of I've got to start waking up early, or I've got to start doing more workouts, or I've got to have a gym buddy now. Let's start taking it step by step. Can we start feeling better in the mind? And once the mind starts feeling better, then all of a sudden everything else in the body just starts waking up. So
Yeah.
don't. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Jewel.
No, I was going to say that's pretty good. Now, Angela, if you're still on, we'll ask you to come up if you want to come up so you can be on the platform with us. And let's see, how many more do you have to do, Martin? Because he's got a few more things to tell everybody, and then we'll start letting you guys can come on the platform and let's talk about it, okay?
Yeah, yeah, excellent. So right now, what I wanted to do was I just wanted to just list a couple of factors of what these protein powders do to your body and kind of the negatives. And then what I wanted to do was I just wanted to take a scope into kind of the different categories of what we're trying to do when it comes to grading protein powders and vitamins and such forth from there. So give me 1 second. So what I have here is the biggest issue that arises, and that's because most protein powders are derived from a dairy or a cheese, and the actual whey is a byproduct of cheese, constipation and gas. And I'm an advocate of. I've actually experienced that as well. I try to do my best and try to be healthy and this and that, but couldn't
Yeah.
help it. Sometimes it would be, it'd be I got a schedule. Sometimes it wouldn't be scheduled, and it would throw me off. Especially when you're an athlete, especially when you have games, trainings, tournaments, multiple games sometimes in a day. You can't second guess what's going to happen to your body. You need to rely on making sure that your body's going to be there when you need it. And sometimes I was warming up and I had to go to the bathroom, come back, and I'm like, what the heck, man? What the heck? I'm 22 years old and I got to deal with this kind of stuff. This is crazy. But it was just because what I was putting in my body and just, not good for my digestive system. So constipation and gas. Another one is chronic inflammation. Most people kind of bypass that because they think like, oh, I'm getting my protein, I'm feeling good, I feel lean, but then they're having joint problems, elbow problems, shoulder problems, and those are all derived from the fact that like I said, this is a byproduct of cheese. and that dairy is just sitting on your muscles, just causing problems. And if it gets worse, chronic inflammation is then what derives from that. And the only way you can do that is getting off cheese, getting off dairy, and then eventually just retraining your body. And sometimes it's too late.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too late, especially when it comes to movement and stretching and mobility and stability for the whole core and the whole body. You've got to make sure that you want to be as active as possible, because once that goes, you're done. It's very, very hard to get it back. So yeah, chronic inflammation. And then another one is just headaches and migraines. With the added toxins in the powders that aren't what we're looking for most of the time, and the fact that they are, most of the time they are additives in there as well. It just throws your hormones off. It just goes into your head and just causes headaches, migraines.
Yeah.
What's going on is you're thinking that you should feel one way, and this is making you feel a completely different way. And you're just like, what the heck? I don't even feel like I worked out. And now you're just doing another battle in your mind, and you're not going anywhere from there. And the last one is an interesting one, but it's also a symptom as well, and it's bad breath. And I can really attain to this guy. Some of my friends that have protein powder, I'm like, man, what'd you eat? Like, nothing, nothing. I didn't eat anything. I just had a protein powder, protein drink. And I'm like, dude, it stinks, man. What the heck is coming out of your mouth? So if that's coming out of your mouth, just imagine what's going on in the rest of your body and such forth from there. So yeah, those are my kind of negatives to the body. And then here, what I have here is I actually have a list of about 18 different categories of how uh, third party companies and businesses grade how they grade the diligence of a product. So I'm just going to run through these, and like I said, this will kind of give you an understanding of why there's such a wide scale of vitamins and minerals. And if you want, I can actually read some of the top brand names like GNC, Nature Valley, and they're actually graded out of a 5 stars. Some of them are actually half a star, 1 star rating, and these are the categories that they're basing these symptoms off, these vitamins off, and protein powder. So number one is, and I'll just go through them. If you want explanation, I can explain them. But the number one is completeness. Number two, potency. Number three, mineral forms. Number four, vitamin E forms. Number five, immune support. Number six, antioxidant support. Number seven, bone health. Number eight, heart health. Number nine, liver health. Number 10, metabolic health. Number 11, ocular health. Number 12, methylene, I guess, methylene support, methylation support. And then there's a couple more. Uh, lipotropic factors, inflammation control, glycation control, bioflavonoid profile, uh,
Okay.
uh, pheno, phenolic compounds profile, and potential toxicities in the product as well. So there's a third party company that comes out with a book, and they grade over 1,600 products from U.S. and Canada. And it's a third party study, and I've been subscribed to their books since 2016, and every year I'll just go and I'll see, hey, I literally go and I'll write down top products that I see at Target and Walmart and the GNC, and I'll see their ratings for that year, and I'm mind
Mhm.
boggled. I'm mind boggled that what you're reading, because, for example, I have here, and we'll just go through one. And this is, for example, vitamins. So just imagine what the retrospect is for protein powders as well. So what I have here is, I know everyone's pretty familiar with Nature's Made. Nature's Made. I think it's a popular brand in terms of vitamins and this and that. So they've actually have about 20 different products of Nature Made,
Okay.
between essential plus 50, balanced daily vitamins, essential for men, essential mega, essential for women, multi complete vitamins, and such forth. So There's about 15 of these products here. The highest rating they have is on two of the products, and they got a 2 star out of five.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the highest rating was the nature. Oh, sorry, it wasn't even their company. It was a different company. So Nature's Made rating was actually a one. Highest rating of their products was actually a one, and that was, and everything else was either a half, and there's about five of them that have nothing, like no rating, so they don't recommend at all. So we're about a half star, 1 star on those 18 different categories that are so vital and so key for yourself. And you can see that these things that are being pushed out into the markets, they're not doing what you want them to do. Sometimes not taking them at all is better than taking them, and it's
Yeah.
easy. So yeah, I didn't want to go too much into it. I just wanted to kind of break down a little more in terms of, hey, if we're talking about healthy, it's not just weight. We're talking about the nutrients that go in there, the potency in these products, and what it's going to do to your body. So, like I said, those 18 products, and I know for sure Jewel has heard of those terms before, dealing with
Well,
those.
I was, yeah, as you were reading them off, the lipids, it's a lot of fat. You mentioned all kinds of ingredients in there. Those are all fillers,
Mhm,
which is what causes you to gain weight, even if you take it, say you're doing protein. Some people do protein drinks, what, at least they work out at least every other day,
mhm,
and then they'll do the protein drinks. But you also have to understand that the men do not have, or let me get this right, the adipose fat. You
mhm,
see, so it's totally different than female. So I guess it just depends on what you want to do. I heard all those ingredients, and some of them, like I say, and you mentioned too, if they're not high quality, then you're getting a lot of fillers, you're getting a lot of fat, you're getting a lot, there's no nutrients. You lose the nutrients when you do a lot of these protein drinks.
yeah,
And then there's no healthy facts, what am I trying to say, to the minerals or the vitamins. It's very minimal. And if
yeah,
you
yeah,
look on the back, yeah, when you look at the back of the container or the can or the big old whatever it is, you'll see on the back, it doesn't have stuff like iron.
mm,
I've got a I had my smoothie today, and it doesn't even have 20% of vitamin C. It
mm,
doesn't even have 20% of vitamin B. Magnesium is only 55 milligrams.
mm,
So if you're really trying to be healthy and know what's in your blood, like for me, it's okay because I'm within range, so to speak. But I also have to get back to an annual exam to see, because I've been eating naturally, pretty regular here, and I don't, like I say, spring and summer, I may do some protein um drinks, but for me, I'd rather eat naturally. Everything I do is natural. I don't like to do a lot of supplements because, like Martin just read, that's the reason why. But a lot of people are spending their money on these supplements, and that's why you need me, so I can help you to learn which foods you want to eat, where you don't have to buy all these supplements
mm,
that really won't serve you well.
yeah,
It could be a placebo effect,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
mind over matter. You think it's helping, but if you eat naturally, you'll get better results.
yeah.
And no shade to the people that are making their chips from selling to people who, you know,
Don't know.
well, yeah, who don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, So, what else can we talk about, Martin? I'm not trying to bash anybody, but facts is facts. Truth is truth. Food is food,
Yeah.
and that's where you get your best nutrients and vitamins.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think the biggest thing is, in terms of this liquid, I would go towards the smoothie side a little more. Add what ingredients you need from there, because at the end of the day, what we need more energy. It's not like
Right,
people are telling themselves, "Oh man, I'm doing too much. I need to slow down." No, you're not. You know, people are looking to find a way to get more of a boost, so they start telling themselves, "Oh man, well, when I was younger, I weighed less and I had so much energy. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to go back to losing weight and I'll get all that energy back." Well,
food.
go back and lose weight, but you're going about it the wrong way. So what we need to do is I would totally go with the smoothie side of it. Get your energy, feel pumped up for the day, take on more for the day, take on either going for a walk, doing a little hiking, take on, hey, I want to do a little more resistance training, whatever it is. But it's not, because the protein is not going to give you energy, and you're going to have it, and you say, why do I feel like I can't move? I don't feel like I have any energy, or not in the or not in the mindset to do anything productive. So at the same token, it's if you and that's the problem, is because people stick with the smoothies, and I think that's the reason why protein drinks get a better kind of face or better light than smoothies, because people eat their smoothies in the morning and then they're wondering why they're hungry after an hour. Well, dude, you didn't eat anything for 10 hours while you're sleeping, and then now all you did was just put light carbs and healthy veggies in your stomach, and you think that's going to give you the boost and amplify you to the next level. No, this is what I look at fruit as. I look at fruit as a natural stimulant, just like coffee. When people are like, oh, I got to have my coffee to start my day, I look at fruit of, okay, I need to start my day, I'm going to have fruit. I need to make sure I can end my day strong. At noon or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, I'm going to have fruit. I kind of stay away from fruit after 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and if it is, maybe some portions, small portions, maybe like apples with peanut butter, or a fruit with also a healthy fat, like guacamole and something else, but not just I'm going at a watermelon at 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
It's high. It's a high glycemic food, and that's just gonna spike up your sugar. And that's the thing. Some people don't know that pineapple, watermelon. These are high in glycemic radar, so that means it's just gonna spike your sugar. So some people are like, man, I'm eating pineapple. I'm eating fruit. How come I don't feel anything? Well, because you're eating the wrong things sometimes. You know what I mean? So we've got to see what works for your lifestyle, what works for your body, educate you on what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, and then from there things start look like they are getting a little easier, or we're going somewhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, I totally recommend going the smoothie way, because you can just add whatever you want in there as well. And then besides the smoothie, I would go, if you want to go the warm way, I would go a soup. I always, if you're gonna go with a protein drink, why don't you get your protein in a soup form? Even if it is meat, chicken noodle soup, even if you add some beef in there as well, or whatever it is, you can always get your protein and your veggies through a soup. And I always like it because it's always good on your stomach. It doesn't really throw off your body that much, because it's nice and warm, and it's easier to digest for your body. So I always go that way. I always stick with the soups, and then I always go for smoothies as well, because
Yeah.
you kind of manage those yourself.
And that's a good thing too, Martin, because when you do a smoothie, you can add your nutrients and your
Yeah.
vitamins. Whereas, you know, now here's another thing that I've noticed. Sometimes people do the what do you call the uh protein drinks, and they add the protein drinks in their smoothies. Now, it just depends on the combination, but still, you need a good quality protein powder if you're going to do it. But again, like Martin and I are saying, you can get the best quality by eating naturally. This is what we are trying to say. We're not saying don't do it. That's your prerogative. But we have an alternative, a natural alternative, so that you don't have to worry about all those chemicals that he was reading off going into your body. And some of them can be cancer causing
Mm.
because everybody's body chemistry is different. This is why we both agree on the natural path, the natural way of ingesting for your body.
Yeah, and for
So,
myself, I when I was an athlete, before being plant based, I was eating protein meat. I was eating protein. I was just sticking to meats, and I was drinking protein drinks, and I was being what I thought healthy, and all I was doing was just hurting myself more.
mhm.
Digestive problems, bone issues, recovery problems. Like where the next day even after a practice, I'd wake up the next day and my ankles like hurting. I can't barely walk on them. And my friends would make fun of me, or my roommates would make fun of me, saying, "Man, every morning you wake up like a grandpa." And I'm like, I literally can't walk on my ankles. They feel like glass walking on them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was horrible. And ever since then, stopped the protein drinks. I stopped the meat. I just went more natural. I went more plant based, and I was able to not just feel better, but go harder in the training. Put more weight, run harder, run stronger and longer, and I have no problems. And in recovery, I can do the same thing next day. Where some people are like, well, I need to rest for 24 hours, or I can't do the same muscle group for 2 days in a row. It's like, well, how many of us are really trying to train for bodybuilding? If we're not trying to train for bodybuilding, then we should stick on healthy choices, healthy lifestyle, making sure that our mind, body, and soul is aligned, and we're not trying to be something we're not. Does it look good having a six pack and this and that? I don't know. Get one and see if you feel it and if you like it. You know what I mean? Some people don't like the commitment and the consistency. Some people like having a little extra pounds around their weight, and there's nothing wrong with that
Yeah.
as long as you can control it, as long as it's not something where you binge, on one or day, I can't take it anymore, and you start binging. There's no point. But healthy choices are about something where you're in control. This is not about, hey, we need to make sure that everyone's at their goal weight. This is not about that. This is about making healthy choices and eliminating those factors that are helping you, that are preventing you from getting there. Whether it's unmotivated, and most of the time you're unmotivated, and most of the time you're unmotivated because there's nothing outside that's going to motivate you. If you wanted to, you can do it. You go to YouTube, you see guys with cars, you see women, all over the world at beaches. You're like, I want that body, I want that car. That'll motivate you. But the
Yeah.
problem is you don't have something inside of you motivating you. So what we got to do is, like Joel was saying, got to start looking at the body, got to start looking at what's going on in there, and from there we can derive a plan to help you get back to your best and go from there. So, yeah, Jewel, I don't want to cut this off. I have to get off now if you don't mind. But
Okay.
I would love for you to let me know. Continue with the stream. If anyone has any more added questions, feel free to let Jewel know, or comment in the comment section, and I'll do my due diligence and follow up on the comment section. And then obviously Jewel and I will get a hold of each other soon and talk about if anyone brought something to the table from there. So yeah, thanks again, guys, for jumping on. Thank you again for your time, and we'll be looking forward to speaking with you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, thank you, Martin, for coming on. And I did put your information below Linktree, so they'll be able to see you and also get in touch with you. Also, he has stuff going on YouTube as well. So you guys make sure you go to his platform, like, comment, share, subscribe. What you know how we do. We're getting better on these platforms, and thanks, Martin, for
Of
coming
course.
on. We'll see you soon,
Sounds
okay?
good. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Good night. Okay, guys. Well, thanks, Martin, for coming on. He had some good information. If anybody else wants to come on and talk about um, what we're doing on these platforms. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to get in touch with me, simplyjewel.com. You can also go to my link tree, which is Simply Jewel. You can also Cash App. I can always use, you can always go to Cash App for the one on one so that I can help you create. Um, I can help you create a regime just for you. Thank you. Uh, Faces by Angela. Angela is also go back and listen to our podcast that we did on Tuesday or yeah, Tuesday night. I had Miss J Speaks podcast on. So that's on YouTube. Make sure that when you go back to this particular live, you go to YouTube, you click at the top, you'll see there's posts, there's a community, there's lives. So we're all trying to, get organized and do things so that you guys can keep in touch with us. So, are there any more questions about our topic for today? We have been talking about the pros and cons to protein drinks. For me, I love to teach and help and assist and coach anybody. If you're wanting to lose weight, when um, what other ways can you lose weight and still get the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals without protein drinks? And my reason for going naturally is that once you get off of protein drinks, you end up gaining the weight back. Another reason is you lose the nutritious values. In a protein drink. You also have to be mindful of the sugar content. I don't think we touched on this. For females, the sugar content that you're supposed to have daily is what, 24 grams of sugar. And for the men, it's 34 grams of sugar. So you see, the difference between women and men, the grams are different, the intake is different. Adipose fat versus not having adipose fat, male versus female, so that kind of thing. um Yes, it was awesome. Y'all go check it out. Yeah, go back and check it out, you guys. We had a good time. It was the cosmetics, it was her bedroom candy, it was candy coated cosmetics, and so much more. We had a good time, and we're going to do it again on a different uh, night where we can talk about, because as you guys know, cosmetology, nursing, and science. So that is why I can help you to be your best self. I can help you to create a regime just for you. You know, that is my forte. That is what I do. Work with people as long as you're coachable, and we can do a one on one. There's also memberships, but I rather you get in touch with me because I'm always tweaking the website. I'm always creating for people who fail to thrive, which is when you go to it. That's why when you go to it, it's so much verbiage. I'm trying to narrow it down, but in the meantime, Linktree, you can do a one-on-one with me and get the questions answered. I do give a hour consultation. with membership. If you want to do a one-on-one, you get a 30-minute consultation, but you can cash at me or just go to Linktree and you can get in touch with me and compensate via PayPal. There are other modalities or other routes I am willing to accept. But again, I'm always willing to talk to you, and I work by appointment only. So, with that being said, everyone, we will end this live unless somebody wants to come on. If someone has any more questions, thanks again to Faces by Angela for supporting us tonight. It's always good when you come on and support. It's always good for anyone to come on and support. And as you know, we're just getting information out here. That is why my platform is so broad, because we do a lot. And I rather you just come to one location and try and get in touch with me, book your appointments, and that's pretty much it. If there's anything else you want to say, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can also email me. You can also go to Linktree, Simply Jewel. There's all kinds of ways to message me. I prefer Instagram, and also you can text me, but there's just no excuse for making healthy choices. I know a lot of people go by what other people say, but just be mindful that your body chemistry is different. And what other people tell you to do, it can cause you to be toxic, or it can be a situation that you don't want to get into, because it can cause issues. So it's always good to check with your doctors. We are not doctors, we are coaches, but it's always good to check with your doctors, get a physical before you decide to make any changes using supplements or what have you. But one thing I can tell you is if you eat naturally, you'll see, and you will also have better results, guaranteed. Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming on. You have been watching Thursday night live, uh, health and wellness session. Oh, I'm got a mouthful there. Okay, thanks again. Peace and blessings to everyone. Have a good night. Bye bye.